Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chair Yoga here with Haley Hinson of Sacred Lotus Heart. Today's class, we're going to be working on what we can do to deal with a stiff neck, sore shoulders, and sometimes when you have where one side of your neck or shoulders are okay, but the other one isn't, whether it's from nerve pain, muscular issues, or even an out of alignment balance in your skeletal system. So we're going to be going over things that can help you. Whenever you're doing any of your chair yoga and you have some limitations going on, whether they're chronic limitations, everyday limitations, or ones that just pop out of nowhere, know that you can use things like a second chair, an ottoman, the wall. If you have a yoga ball or an exercise ball, you can use that, or a stool, to create a higher floor so that you have another surface to work with. So it doesn't always have to be just you, your chair, and a block or two, or your strap. You can use other things. Today we're going to work with just the basic things that we have that you would have around your house. If you don't have blocks, then you can use stacks of books. If you don't have a exercise strap or a yoga strap, you can use a belt or a scarf. But to start out with today, we're going to work on our warm-ups and listening to what our body has to tell us, so that if you have neck issues, shoulder issues, even if it goes down into the back and the hips, that you can listen to each side of the body and know what is working, what isn't working, when to back off. A lot of people want to try to push through it, and I want you to focus on how you're breathing. If you feel like you have a hard time catching your breath, like it's too fast, or jagged, like you're having a hard time to breathe out or in, then you probably need to back off of the pose. Even if you just came in an inch and you're starting to have issues, honor that, back off a little bit. Odds are you've got to let your body do a few rounds of breathing to be able to let those muscles actually feel safe. Think of it as the fight or flight mechanism in the body. If it doesn't feel safe, then it's going to seize up. It's not going to let you go too far. And if you keep jamming into it, it's like when you're standing your ground when someone's trying to push you over. So instead, you want to be relaxed and let that muscle have a break. Let it know it's all right. And then maybe you might find some more extension or length. All right? So try to keep that in mind. Try not to judge yourself or have expectations for yourself. Let's get started. Starting on our chair in our seated Tadasana, move your thighs out of the way, move your glutes out of the way so you can find your sit bones and your tailbone can go down a little bit more. Wiggle your feet on the floor. Feel that floor underneath you, having connection to the earth. If you tend to stick your booty out, tuck that tail down towards the floor a little bit. The counterweight of that is drawing the navel in and up a little bit. Roll the shoulders back and down and take a deep breath in. And breathe out. Let the rest of the world sort of melt away. All worries, anxieties, and frustrations go to the side. Make this your sacred yoga space. When it feels like you have developed that, not only physically, but energetically and emotionally, this sacred yoga space, lift one arm up. It doesn't matter which one. Let it lift up. Let the shoulders stay down. Just see how high you can go that feels all right, and slowly lower it down. Turn the palm over. Do the same motion. And come down. Bend the elbow, let the fingertips come to the shoulder. The other hand come underneath the elbow and lift up with you. And back down. Now see if you can move the elbow by itself. And lifting the elbow up and let it wing to the side and back down. Big circles. Letting that elbow get even higher. go the other way. And let that arm uncoil and relax. Let's do the other arm. Lift it up just to what feels comfortable. Let the shoulder be down. Let the arm float down. Turn the palm up. Then the elbow, and let the fingertips come to the shoulder. Other hand supports the elbow as you lift up and down. See if you can do it on your own. Either with support or on your own, lift the elbow up and see if you can wing it out to the side. And start to make shoulder rolls pointing the elbow. Go slow. Breathing smoothly in and out. See if you can go the other way. It's always best to warm up the shoulders first and then the neck. Let that arm relax. Let's let the lower back ease, sliding forward, letting the elbows or forearms rest on the thighs. Palms can come together. You can clasp hands, whatever feels comfortable. Press the forearms in, roll the shoulders back, and maybe, if it's all right, let your nose look down. Press the feet into the earth. Roll the inner thighs towards the chair. Let your tailbone be an anchor in your navel to the spine. You might feel your breath going deeper into your low back now. Good. To come up, slide your hands to your knees or your thighs, elbows by your waist. Press feet and hands towards the floor as you come up. Roll both shoulders back, then roll just one. Roll the other. Do they move the same? And let arms float up. And let arms float down. Palms flip up. And let the arms come down. Maybe they go even down towards the floor. Roll the shoulders back. The palms float towards the shoulders, elbows sticking out. Inhale, let them separate. Tailbone down, let them come together. If having them bent doesn't work, you can have them unbent. Tailbone down, navel slightly in. Whether your hands are on your shoulders or up above, move the shoulders, move the elbows, draw the circle with the shoulders one way. And then the other way. Good. Let the elbows point out, unbend the elbows, and draw those forearms towards each other, squeezing the pectorals. Tailbone down, inhale, open those doors. Exhale, let them close. Turn the palms to face away, breathing in. And breathing out. Let the arms come down and rest those shoulders. We're still not ready to go into that neck yet. Roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to travel down through the spine to keep opening up so that nothing can pull on that neck incorrectly. Okay? So take your left hand to the bottom of the side chair. Roll your shoulders back and lean to the right a little bit. Let's going to go a little into your neck, but we're opening up down along the arm. Tailbone drops down. Step your feet out a little bit. They don't have to go all the way, just a little. Press them in, scoop your tail towards those knees. Good. Let go of the side of the chair. Your body's going to naturally start to try to come forward, which is fine. Roll it forward. If you want to hinge down more, go ahead. Slide down a little bit. You can let hands or elbows rest on the thighs. You can come all the way down if that works for you today. Maybe you flex the feet to come up. Let your hands come to the knees and thighs, lifting up. Walking the feet back underneath. And let's do the other side. Right arm finds the side, the bottom of the chair. Roll that shoulder back and lean to the left a little bit. Go slow. Tailbone drops down, navel draws in. When you're ready, let go of that side and your body's naturally going to go forward. Let yourself roll forward. Sit back up. Let's do the left side again. This time we're not going to move our legs out. Lean. Let go and roll forward. Sit up. Right side. Hold and lean, and this time walk the feet out. Tuck the tail. Then let go and lean forward. Only with what works. Maybe you're ready to let one foot point up. Maybe you're ready to reverse those. Maybe not, and that's okay. Slide the feet back underneath you, slowly coming up. Tailbone drops down, navel slightly lifts up and in. Feel the richness of your breath, smooth and long. Walk your feet out just a little bit, maybe as wide as the chair. Feel the sit bones changing on the chair. Tailbone down, draw the navel in. We're going to slide to the right elbow on the right knee, just a little bit. Maybe press the left hand in just a wee bit. Draw your navel in and take your tailbone towards the seat of the chair. It's not a deep twist. If that's too far down, back off. Good. When you're ready, big inhale and unwind. We're going to do the other side after a few breaths here in the middle. Notice the differences in the rib cages, in the lower back, in the shoulders. Slide down to the left forearm. Heart starts to turn to the right. Tailbone down. Maybe you press the right hand into the thigh or knee. Again, if that's too far down, slide up. Unwind when you're ready. Take about 3 or 4 slow, soothing breaths here. Feet can stay wide or closer together, whatever feels stable to you. And now we're going to start to open up our neck a little bit. Bringing our fingers behind the neck, and we're going to clasp those hands so the pinkies are just resting beneath that bulbous point of the skull. so that our fingers are supporting the cervical spine. Our thumbs are probably going to be down by the triceps, the tops of the shoulders. Clasping those hands behind you, almost like a neck brace. And lean your neck into your hands. Take your tailbone down, press the feet in and the shins forward. Crown of the head lifts up. Eyes are relaxed. Now start to wing out those shoulders and elbows, breathing in. And exhale out. Even though we're not moving the neck yet, you might even feel small movements underneath your hands. The next time we wing those shoulders out, we're going to pause and lean to one side just a little. Push the feet into the floor, draw the navel in as you come up, and go to the other side. Engage and come back up. Letting the elbows squeeze towards one another. Using the pinky side of the hands, start to tip the head, not moving the neck, but tipping the skull on the cervical spine, chin towards the sternum. Now start to draw the elbows towards your hips just a little bit. We're not tugging on the neck. It's almost like we're pushing the skull forward and rolling the skull. The neck isn't really arching. So if you were to take your hands off of the neck, and you were to put your thumbs near the jaws, the fingertips around the skull, you could pivot the head without the neck moving. That's the motion we're going for. Then when we draw our elbows down, we're lengthening that skull even more away from our back. Then we sort of get into the neck, but we're not pulling on the neck. Big breaths in and out. Let your arms slide away. The head's going to naturally come up. If it starts to feel like it needs assistance, bring a hand underneath the chin. Good. Now doing the same thing side to side, letting the head pivot. Maybe bring your hands to your neck to make sure you're not moving your neck. Trying to keep forehead and chin parallel to the room in front of you. See if you can pivot slowly to the other side. Try not to draw a box. See if you can do it in an arc. It isn't a race. You may notice one side has more motion, and that's okay. This next round, when your head pivots, pause, take a deep breath in. Breathe out. If you want your cervical rotation to happen, start to let the cervical neck, cervical spine rotate. Your hands are there if you need to assist it back. Only you know what is okay for you. Go the other way. You know what physicians, surgeons have said is okay for you, so I want you to follow that still. Back to the middle. Go over to your first side and slowly look up, painting the nose up, painting the nose down. If you feel safe letting your hands come down, go ahead. If you feel like you need one or both hands for support, use it. Sometimes it's just to feel safe. Let the gaze come to the middle, pivot to the center. Take a few breaths here. do the other side, but go slow. It's not a race. Don't be frustrated if it doesn't do the same or if it's not the same as the other side. The shoulders ease down, tailbone down. Maybe the cervical spine can move a little bit, maybe not. Maybe you have to use a hand to let that shoulder or neck know it's okay, it's safe. Maybe you pat it, or you do a little bit of a massage up and down with the hands, just kind of pressing into the shoulders softly, letting it know it's okay. You can do that also with the neck. Soft compressions, letting it know it's safe. Then when you're ready, come to the center. Look up and down in front. We're going to do that on your own again. Go to the first side. Look up and down if that felt right. Do any of the compressions. If you want to twist a little bit more, do what feels right in your body. You can even drop the hands down to the sides. When you're ready to come to the middle, come to the middle. When you're ready to do the other side, swivel. Then if you do the twist, maybe you do massage or comforting to that area. Maybe you hit a pressure point. Maybe you look up and down. And then slowly let yourself come to the middle when you're ready. Coming back to your Tadasana. It's not going to be uncommon for you to need to swallow or clear your throat after this. We are also opening some of the lymph nodes and glands that run along the channel between the ear and our neck, along the muscles of the throat and the neck. So sometimes we get our sinus drainage going. So it's okay if you start to clear your throat or have almost like a need to swallow. It's all right. Let's continue with the rest of our body. So if you do deal with chronic neck pain or shoulder issues, I want you to be able to allow yourself to focus on that. So if we're doing a forward fold and that's not feeling great, or maybe there's another part in your body, instead of getting mad at those sections, use your breath to see if you need to back off or go deeper. Okay? So let's continue with more of a flow movement. You can use a chair in front of you, you can use a wall, any of it's okay with you. All right? We're going to take our hands out and press the palms away. Roll the shoulders back and down, letting those scapulas mirror your hands. Don't let them wing out. Let the collarbones be nice and relaxed. Even if you've had surgery on them or they've been broken, let them come down and squeeze the elbows towards each other. Breathing in and out. Bend the elbows and let the hands float towards your shoulders. Let your elbows point towards the chair. Breathe out, push the palms towards the room in front of you, but letting your collarbones be square. Elbows squeeze in and bend the elbows. If we were doing this on the floor or on a wall, this would be considered a chaturanga, very similar to a push-up, but in alignment, helping the shoulders and the spine. Let the fingertips point down now, unbending the shoulders, unbending the elbows, roll the shoulders back and take the tailbone down. Let the hands slide to the knees and hinge down, letting yourself come into a forward fold type of motion, letting the belly and chest be supported by the knees and the thighs, coming down only to what feels right. If you need your blocks, use them.
take your fingers and point them to the back of the chair, palms facing the sky. Roll the shoulders back and down. Press the feet in. Squeeze in the thighs and take the tailbone down. Start to look up as you unhinge. If you need a hand on a surface, go ahead.
Let the hands float all the way up. If it feels good to roll the shoulders back and let the arms do wide circles, go ahead. If it does not feel okay or safe, you can do hands on shoulders using the elbows. Or maybe you just move the shoulders. Maybe you do one hand at a time, helping the other one out. Letting the collarbone stay back and down. If you were doing one arm, do the other one. Try not to let that shoulder go up to the ears. Tailbone down. Good. When you're ready to pause, and we're going to walk our feet out, stretching them out, but going the distance of your chair or mat, toes facing forward. And we're going to slowly hinge down like a wide angle forward fold. Sliding down, belly goes first. Listening to the parts of your body. If it's safe to have your head hanging, go ahead. Let your arms relax. Flexing your feet. Bring your hands towards your knees, helping yourself press up. Just like that chaturanga. Shoulders roll back, elbows towards the ribs. Inhale up. And let the toes come back down. Toe heel the feet even further out to whatever angle feels right to you. Start with the toes facing forward. Hinge down just a little bit. You're probably not going to come down too far, and that's okay. Take a few breaths, then lean to one side. It doesn't matter which side. Lean a little bit. If you went to the left, your right sit bone might leave the chair, and that's all right. Roll the heart up towards the sky, tailbone towards the front, and then lean forward again. Roll to the other side. Go slow, listening to the body. And center. Bring the toes in, heels in once so that your knees can bend and help yourself come up. Toe, heel, and slide those feet out. Lean to one side, letting the heart go up the other side of the wall. If you want the other arm to come up and over, you can, but if you're taking care of your neck and shoulder, maybe you have to have your head hold up by your hands. Press into a surface, come back up. Take a break in the middle, and then when you're ready, slide to the other side. Slowly come back up. Toes go up, heels come out, hinge forward just a little bit. Rock to one side. Roll to the center, rock to the other side. Roll to the center. Help yourself back up. Slide the feet in. Walk those heels in to where your feet can be flat on the floor, knees can be out, tailbone going down, sort of a squat and goddess pose in between. Tailbone down, shoulders roll back. Feel the earth underneath the feet and press in. Push the shins towards second and third toe. Tailbone back down, drawing the navel slightly in and up. Crown of the head reaches for the sky. Let your throat be open with your breath. Good. Start to bend your left elbow and lean towards that left side a little bit. You're going to feel things tighten a little in your glutes, your lats, but your other side's going to open. Press that left hand in or arm in. Help yourself come back up. And flow to the other side. Come back up. Take a moment. Let your glutes relax again and kick the heels out. Knees come in, scoop your tailbone towards your knees. Round in the shoulders a little bit. Just like we do with our cat. If you need to lean on the back of the chair, go ahead. And look up, inhale, open the legs, open the arms, big breath in, like cow. Exhale, round like cat, knees come in, arching the back. Inhale like cow. Exhale like cat. Only doing what feels right to your body. Good, and pausing in the middle. Toe heel the feet to where it feels comfortable. If you want to do a little bit of a twist, if that feels called to you, roll the left shoulder back and creating a second spine with the left hand on the chair, breathing in as you lengthen up. Let your right hand slide back towards your sacrum, drawing your hand towards your sacrum. Roll both shoulders back. Try and squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, taking it out of just a spinal twist to also a chest opener. And then slowly unwind when you're ready. Sitting up nice and tall, doing wiggles, adjustments that you need. And doing the other side when you're ready. Roll the right shoulder back, creating your second spine on the surface of the chair, either tenting hands or using the palm. Then rolling the left shoulder back, letting the hand be on the sacrum. So you can do a slight twist, but also a chest opener, reminding not to have too much lordosis in the spine, taking the tailbone down. Broad sacrum. And then slowly return to the center. Breathing in and out. Good. Letting the left leg lengthen out, point the toes. And hinge over to the right, letting the right arm press into the leg. You might be warmed up enough to toe heel that right leg out a little bit more, almost like your warrior two. Maybe not quite yet. That's okay. If you want to take the left arm up and over, you can. You don't have to. Maybe you do hand on shoulder. Maybe you just let it rest on the hip. To come out of that, bend the left knee, slide back up. Unbend the left leg, and we're going to slide over to that left leg. Press the right foot in. Again, your upper arm can hinge over if you want it to. You don't have to. Press both feet in. Maybe flex the left foot to help push that heel in. So you can come back up. Use your hands as you need. Slide out the right leg. Bend the left knee. Find where your feet feel comfortable. Start out small and then get bigger. Left elbow to left thigh. Sort of a side angle kind of movement. If you want to bring your top arm up and over, you can. You don't have to. Bring your left hand to your knee and help yourself come up. And slide over to the right. You can tuck your chin here too. Flexing the right or the left foot, pressing that heel in and then let it come down. Flexing the right foot, press the heel in and let yourself come all the way up. Let your feet be out as wide as they feel comfortable doing. Do a slight cat-cow here. Good. Bring the toes in, kick the heels out, slight cat-cow again. You might feel your sit bones move more. Your pelvis may move more in the seat. And then center. Toe heel in a few more times till you feel like your legs are right where they need to be. Doesn't matter how wide they are or how far out in front. I just want you to feel centered from your hips all the way up. Imagine that you can breathe in through your spine. Every vertebra, every disc, even if you've had surgery and those have been removed or altered. Breathe into those spaces. Slowly tuck one foot underneath the chair a little bit. Maybe curl it under, letting that whole front leg open, tailbone down. Maybe your other foot presses in and the knee bends a little. Tailbone down and forward. Strong, long spine. If you want a little deeper, you can slide your hands back to the seat of the chair, roll the shoulders back and squeeze the elbows in, taking the tailbone towards the knees. This is optional. You can slide the bent leg to meet the other one. Pause. You can unbend the knees a little and then rebend. To come up out of that, walk your hands towards the front and relax a minute or two. Check in with one side and then the other. Does your body still feel that you're honoring it? When it gives the go-ahead, slide the other foot under and let it just drop. It doesn't have to push into the surface at all. Tailbone down, maybe forward a little bit. Big breaths into your belly. If you want to come in a little deeper, roll the arms back, shoulders roll back, squeeze the elbows in and press into the surface as the heart lifts. Maybe you unbend your front knee. Maybe you slide both feet out. You can come out of that in a different way than we did before. You can bend the knees and flex the feet, bend the elbows, sort of slouching, and then coming up. Sitting up nice and tall, feeling balanced. Bringing your palms together. And let the hands separate and spread out. Slowly pushing one palm and then push the other palm. Let the fingers web together. And then clasp the hands. Do the same thing. And then come to the middle and do a circle right in front of you. Keep breathing, go the other way. Pause and start to do an infinity. You make it as big as you want. Pause your infinity and reverse the movement. Go the other way. Pause in the middle and wiggle the fingers. Roll the wrists. And then let's go down to our toes. Wiggle those toes, scrunch one set of toes. Scrunch them up, open them up, scrunch them up, wiggle. Other one, scrunch and wiggle, scrunch and wiggle, scrunch. Curl the toes underneath and open them up wide. Curl and up wide. Good. Walk the feet a little closer. Come up to the balls of the feet and windshield wiper those feet. Bring those heels together. And then let the heels come down. Walk the feet a little closer. Come up to the tippy toes and let the heels come down. Squeeze inner thighs towards the floor. Tailbone drops down. Do it again. Keep breathing. Come up to the tippy toes and then pivot on those tippy toes so that the heels can go down to the left side just a little bit. Come back up. Pivot the other way. And come back down. Good. Come back up. Pivot. Walk the feet out and relax. You can let the legs windshield wiper. You can wiggle around. Do anything that you feel like you need to do. All right. So the next portion, you can use your block or your strap. We're going to start coming into our pigeon. Our pigeon pose, you can use your block underneath a foot so that you can bring your ankle and leg together or come up. You can use the block at 3 different heights. You can use a sling method with your strap. So the sling method is that you're drawing that leg up as high as what feels right and letting the knee come out. Maybe you just need the sling to bring the foot into place on top of the other knee. You can use the block, the sling, your hands, your arms, any of them will do. Remember, we were working with issues in the neck and the shoulders, so we're trying not to use just the sheer strength of them. Squeeze the inner thighs, flex that foot, and slowly hinge down. Tailbone goes down. Press the other foot into the floor. Shoulders roll back. You can wiggle the legs side to side if that feels good. You may know this and you may not. Our body works in diagonal patterns. So if you have an issue in your right shoulder, odds are you have something going on in your left hip or left leg. Come to the middle and slowly sit up. Let that leg come down. Let the feet walk out and let the knees drift in. Let the feet return to that center point and deciding how you're going to get the other leg to where it needs to be. Maybe it stays on the floor. Maybe it uses the block. Maybe you use your arms or your strap. Letting yourself find your spot, then hinge down. Letting yourself feel at ease, at comfort. Squeezing inner thighs, pushing the base shin towards the front. If you want to wiggle the legs side to side, you can. Good. Pause in the middle and slowly help yourself come up. Letting that leg return back to the floor. Let the feet walk out and the knees drift in. Let the heels drift in, the toes drift out. And then let them come back into your Tadasana. Let's say your shoulders need a little bit more before coming into your Shavasana. And there's a couple different things that you can do. We haven't really gotten in between the shoulder blades and some of those issues yet. So what you can do is a modified eagle arm. That's where you cross the arms in front and then you bring the elbows in front of you, but we're gonna do one arm at a time. Traditionally, it would be like this. But for some, that's too invasive. So we're gonna do one at a time. I'm gonna take the right arm underneath the left and just hold the bicep. If you wanna do a full eagle arm, go ahead. Draw that left shoulder towards the front of the room just a little bit, and then roll the shoulders back, tailbone down. Using that right arm, start to lift the left shoulder up, and then bring it over. Left arm up, and then bring it over. You can let that left hand come to the right shoulder if you want. If you want to hug that right arm to the other shoulder, you can. When you feel ready to slide out, slide out. If you did full eagle arm, make sure to do the other one with the other base arm underneath. So with this one, we're gonna bend the right arm, bring the left arm underneath, hold the bicep a little bit and draw that arm over, roll shoulders back. Lift the arm up, roll it over, and slide to the elbow. And bring the hand to the shoulder. You can hug. And then let yourself unwind. If your neck still needs a little bit of something, maybe it's massage. Bring your fingertips just around the neck and slowly, like little waves with your fingers, very softly massaging along the neck, the triceps, the rhomboids, big thick muscles at the top of the shoulders, making little waves, maybe up by the skull. Down along the very sides, but go soft. To the collarbones. Maybe even a little bit into the pectorals. If you want to keep going into the pectorals, go ahead. If that feels really good and you want to crisscross and do both shoulders, and do both shoulders. Sometimes that's easier than doing the same side with the same hand. And then when you feel ready, you can slide yourself into Shavasana, letting yourself relax, whether you are in a corpse pose, whether you're sitting up. You can have your feet up onto another chair or reclining on a sofa or a reclining chair for your Shavasana. I'm going to stay seated. Make the adjustment that you need to do and that you feel is going to work best for you today. where you feel relaxed. Your body can sort of slip away from the world. Your mind can ease and the world seems to drift away. Feeling the support of the earth underneath and the gentleness of the sky above. Your breath is soft and gentle. Let the eyes relax. Give yourself permission to send positive thoughts and feelings to any spots that may be hurting, have too much tension. Let your body relax even more, sitting heavier in your chair. Maybe you lean back. If you're lying down, feel the body becoming heavier upon the earth. Maybe you welcome in the unconditional love and light of the universe, of Source, to join in with your sending to any of the spaces that may be hurting, tight, tense. Letting each limb and each body part relax. Feeling the breath as it moves in and out of the body, bringing you slowly back. Slowly back into the body. Feeling the contact points to the earth, the body, chair, any props. Wiggling fingers and toes, scrunching the nose, yawning, stretching. Moving in any way that feels good to you. If you're lying down on the floor, or on a sofa or a bed, slowly begin to roll to one of your sides when you're ready. If you've been lying down, you're about ready to come up to your seated position. Slowly choose if you're going to draw a knee into your heart or extend the leg long that's on your trigger side of your back or shoulder or neck. Let that assist you to come up. And when you are ready, coming into a comfortable seated position, whatever that might be, where you can feel your breath moving freely through the body. Letting the eyes open, blinking a few times, maybe looking up and then down, side to side with the eyes. Letting the hands come into Andala Mudra, placing any of the hopes, dreams, prayers, manifestations, and good wishes that you have for yourself, your loved ones, community, the world, the universes. And letting them shine out, being heard. If you felt that there were obstacles in your path lately, you might like to look up Om Namah Shivaya, meaning releasing the obstacles. Om, taking the sound and vibrations of the universe and moving forward with them. If there is a saying, a prayer, a mantra, a chant that you like to say to yourself that helps you feel centered, go ahead and do that now, whatever it might be. If you'd like to join me in the closing of a long Om, meaning we are connected as one, same vibration and frequency of outer space. Shanti said 3 times, meaning peace and connecting to the divine spark within us. Namaste, the light within me, honors the light within you. You may join if you wish. Big breath in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today in chair yoga. I'm going to make it available that you can unmute and ask any questions that you may have about today's practice or your own practices. You can also put them in the chat box if you would rather. If you would like to ask a question that you don't want to say here, or you're not yet in the frame of mind to be able to put all that together to ask me right now, remember that you can always go to my website, sacredlotusheart.com, and you can contact me through there. You can also look me up on social media to be able to ask your questions there as well. So if for some reason you can't form the question, or it just doesn't, you're not quite sure how to ask it yet, those are other options. Thank you. Alrighty. how is everybody doing in their shoulders and their necks? So today's class was based about how to deal with that, even if you're not just doing yoga, but you're doing other things, listening to the parts of your body, and also using that same information when you have other issues going on. And don't forget about the YouTube channel. We do have lots of classes there as well, whether they're Tai Chi, chair yoga, other yoga, healing modalities, and meditation. So does anyone have any questions for me today, whether it has to do with your practice today with me or on your own? I hear someone unmuted. Do you have a question? You're welcome, Gloria. What is a good exercise for tight lats? So for those that don't know where your lats are, they are the muscles that run along your spine. Those big, long muscles, they're called latissimus dorsi. So they're these big, long ones. They attach up here and they go all the way down. They connect to the sacrum. So there's a couple different ways of working with those lats. One is doing the really tight forward folds that we have done with a block or without a block, where you're rounding over. That's going to stretch the lower parts. And then, don't want to drop that on the floor. And then you can let your arms start to fold down. You can use a chair in front of you. You can use a wall, letting them extend, letting them lengthen out. So that's going one direction. We want to try to go 4 different directions. So when you feel ready to come out of that, any side action. So this is one that we've done with blocks, we've done without blocks, we've done where you take one arm up and over, stretching not only the lats, but we get into the intercostals, the rib cage. And then you can swoop forward and back up. You can extend a leg. Sort of like giving yourself a massage. I have my hand here to keep my hip down because my hip wants to come up today. And whatever you do to one side, make sure you do to the other side. It may not be the exact same movement. I have a little bit of a neck thing going on this side, so it's not going to be the same movement or as deep. So you can do the massage today for our lats. We did the side to side. Any of those side to side motions where we grab the chair and then we come over, that's going to help your lats. You can again roll. We did that a little bit today. So those are all ways to go the directions of the lats, cat, cow, scrunching them together and then exhaling cat. And you can break this up: shoulders, middle back, and more between the sacrum. So you can roll through all of your lats. Did that help with the lats question? Good. All right, so the other question is there any exercise for SP on left leg and lower back? I'm trying to remember what that means. That would be associated with your SI joint, and it would be connected with your sciatica. Okay, so Sharon, on the left lower back. All right, so one of the ones, we didn't do this today, but one of the things you can use with that, you can do this on the floor or you can do it in your chair. I'm going to show you just with the left leg. Usually we would do both sides. You can use the block, you can use a floor. If you want to lay down on the floor, that's my optimal way to do this, but sometimes getting up and off the floor is sometimes an issue for some, so you can use your chair. Roll your shoulders back, you let that leg come in and extend out. Then you take that strap and you hold it with the opposite hand. So right now I'm doing my left, so I have my strap in my right hand. You keep that left hip down and you slowly draw over. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can bend your knee and then unbend it. I want you to keep breathing. You can lift the leg up higher. You can take it over more. You can lean in your chair. When you're doing it on the back, you get even deeper, but you're going to start opening up along your IT band, but it also gives space for sciatica, SI joint, your whole sacrum. And if you do one side, it's good to do the other side. Take as much time as you need on those, but make sure you can still breathe. If you're starting to hold your breath, you need to pause and come out of it. Shaking can happen in that muscle. Let's see if I can, this one sometimes will shake. It's not shaking because I'm not on the floor, but sometimes your leg will shake or an arm will shake when you're doing things, and that's actually part of your release. But if it feels like it's shaking and there's pain along with it, not a release, but pain, please back off. All right, so that is one that can help. Any of the triangle motions can help SI and sciatica as long as you roll your chest and your heart towards the sky, which we've done that in other classes together as well. The exercises with the lats, we weren't strengthening. That was to stretch and release the lats. To strengthen, anything for the lats would be like doing the chaturanga kind of movement, where we're squeezing the lats, and then we're actually using the the trapezius and the rhomboids to help kind of squeeze the top part of the lats so that they find alignment. The other one's is doing the side-to-side motion, but not hinging all the way into a stretch, but instead making it like you're in a box. Take your tailbone down. That's going to strengthen your lats. But for a lot of people, their lats are extremely strong. Draw your navel in, drop your tailbone down, and what they need is extension. So maybe you do a couple strengthening and then you come out of it, and then come back up, side to side. It's good to do that a few times, but making sure you do a counter pose and then you come back into it. So counter poses are the opposite kind of motion. So you'll notice whenever we do anything where I have the leg out or the knee bent in one direction, we always kick the heel out and let the knee come in for the counter pose within the hips. Cat, cow are counter poses. Cat, cow, opposite motion. So that's what I mean when I say counter poses whenever we're doing anything together. All right, I'm glad that helped, Sharon. Does anyone else, oh, here we have Barbara, great session, have been sewing. Oh, I am glad that this helped you with your tight areas, Barbara. I don't have any good reason for why my neck and my shoulder are bugging me. I slept wrong. It wasn't from any fun activities or any work I was doing. I just literally slept wrong. So does anyone else have any other questions or anything they'd like to share about today's session or your own practice? If not, remember you can always contact me outside of class as well by going to the website or anything on social media. You can also contact me through the YouTube, like if for some reason you can't find my website or the contact info and you can't find me on social media, you can also contact me through YouTube as well. All right, wow, that really was trippy. So I'm looking at the iPad and he's zooming in and I can see that on either side of the chat, and I was thinking I was starting to pass out. Oh Lord, I think I need another cup of tea. All righty, so it doesn't look like anyone else has any other questions. Hey, quit shaking your head over there. All right, so it's been a crazy week already. I know we've all been feeling a little squirrely because of the spring energy coming, and Next week we will be doing a class that it's focused on the spring equinox. So if you want to bring anything to class that makes you think spring and that transitional period, maybe you bring a plant in with you or anything that helps feel like spring. Maybe you look out during class. We were going to be focusing on the spring renewal and the spring equinox. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great day and the rest of your week. Maybe I'll see you in meditation or some of the Tai Chi classes. Bye.